Afrika Bambaataa has to deal with Afrika Bambaataa. The accusations made against him are made against him. They're not made against hip-hop. On top of that, nothing that Afrika Bambaataa did within and for hip-hop is to be taken away from him because of these accusations. Now, many people felt that that was insensitive. They said, but I should, I guess, join the bandwagon of people that was incriminating Afrika Bambaataa. My issue is that, first of all, we're talking about accusations. That's what we're talking about. Afrika Bambaataa himself says, they're all liars, and this is not the truth. This is not the case. He vehemently disagrees with this. His lawyer has put out statements. They're ready to start suing people. BAM is against this.
Afrika Bambaataa, born Lance Taylor, was reported dead this week at age 68. NPR said his manager confirmed his death, while the Associated Press reported that his lawyer said he died in Pennsylvania of prostate cancer. If we're going to talk honestly about his passing, even though he is revered as a hip-hop legend to some, a man who founded Zulu Nation and records like Planet Rock helped push hip-hop and electro into something global. Now, after saying all that, I personally don't give a damn about none of that. His legacy was not merely complicated, it was deeply tarnished by repeated accusations that he sexually abused boys and young men. Multiple men accused him of abusing them as children, dating back to the early 1980s, and apparently a lot of people knew about it. Now, Bambaataa denied the allegations, but the accusations fundamentally changed how many people viewed his life and work. Why was it okay to protect him?
When you're talking about Afrika Bambaataa, first of all, you're talking about the person who invented hip-hop, not participated in it. There was no hip-hop before Afrika Bambaataa. Let's start there. So anyone who has a problem with Afrika Bambaataa should quit hip-hop.
What you've got to, I've just got to state to you that you cannot just dismiss.
No dismission. No.
But when you say you could care less, that's exactly how it's.
No. Let me tell you what I can care less about. Accusations and gossip. KRS does not get involved in that. Show me the evidence, and I will definitely have justice done.
But if it's historical, the evidence is very hard to acquire.
Then why say it?
But often because of the culture upon which you'd have to enter to actually confess.
These accusations, yo, Bam, you got to deal with that. And that's my dude, okay? Bam is my friend. That's my dude. You still gonna have to deal with that.
It's not mutually exclusive to still cherish Bam and his work and his legacy,
right,
and show respect until we hear more.
No, then leave hip-hop then. See, you still want to use the elements of hip-hop, but you don't want to respect the founder of the elements you're using.
That's not disrespect to counter something.
No, yes it is.
Both perspectives should be given a respectful acknowledgement.
Not against Afrika Bambaataa. They're not Afrika Bambaataa.
No one's untouchable.
No, yes you are. We have to learn that. No, we have to learn that. No, our leadership has to be untouchable.
To be blunt, if even part of what those boys and young men described is true, and I believe it is, then this is not a footnote in one of the so-called founders of hip-hop story, but a moral catastrophe. Let's address what KRS-One said. He started off by saying alleged victims. So although a lot of people believed and spoke out about the sexual abuse being an open secret, you still have Bambaataa's fans and hype men defending him, even after death. In 2016, the Universal Zulu Nation issued a public letter apologizing to survivors of apparent sexual molestation by Bambaataa and said some members knew of abuse but did not disclose it. That apology is devastating because it points not only to alleged abuse, but to a culture of silence around it. KRS-One gave the reason why so many people kept quiet, because Bambaataa was considered a leader, so therefore he is untouchable. And it's that type of logic that has allowed predators to roam free, unchecked. There is also a legal situation that makes the stain on his reputation even harder to wave away. The Guardian reported that in 2025, an anonymous plaintiff was granted a default judgment in New York after alleging Bambaataa sexually abused and trafficked him for 4 years beginning in 1991 when the plaintiff was 12 years old. Because Bambaataa failed to appear in court, the unnamed victim received a default judgment in 2025. Then you have Ronald Savage, one of the earliest public accusers, recanting his statement in 2024, saying he had used a fake ID and believed Bambaataa thought he was of age. So, not every allegation is identical and uncontested. However, that didn't stop multiple accusers from speaking out.
Check out who's locking us up. You see how they do their leadership? Their leadership rapes people, kills people, does all lies to people, lies to the American public, and they still go, but wait, we could debate their shortcomings, but they still the leader. And this is what black people do not understand. We never understood it, and it's time that at least hip hop understands this. Some of us are infallible. Some of us are going to have to be untouchable, or our entire culture is going to fall. Our culture cannot fall on the accusations of 4 people. That's weak.
The culture's not going to fall on the
No, it almost has. It almost has, because we don't realize how the FBI and the NSA and the CIA and these people are trying to destroy us. So if you know that you have government and corporate agencies trying to destroy, first of all, not only are they trying to destroy us, they're trying to destroy Afrika Bambaataa. Okay, they're trying to kill him. Now, everybody else that sees Bam as a, Planet Rock and this, that, and the other, I study with Bam. I worked with Bam, knew him for 30 years.
Just because KRS-One think very highly of Bambaataa doesn't mean the rest of us does. And even Chuck D caught some backlash from the people for appearing to defend Bambaataa. At this point, I gotta ask, if we as a community overlook people that hold positions of power who abuse our children, then are we truly a community? Also, can we separate the art from the man? If we care about truth, then the victims and alleged victims have to be part of the story, not hidden behind nostalgic tributes. Let me know what you think about this situation, and stay tuned for more.